Hey guys, Matthew Morrow with MorrowInvest.com, bringing you another house here, and we're going to do some before and after photos, kind of do a walkthrough of what I did on this place. What's most important is how I found this house. I found it with no realtor. I did not use the MLS. There was no FSBO or for sale by owner sign in the front yard. There was no bandit sign out front or on the corner referring me to this place. There were no referrals at all. There was no one, no meetings, nowhere I went that sent me to this location. There was no estate sale. There was no tax lien sale. Another thing that's important is how it was secured, with no money, no paid inspections, no termite bonds, no appraisals, no money down, no banks, no realtors, no contractors. This is why you pay for training. People always wonder if it's worth it to pay for one of these real estate courses, and anytime you can get education, it is a good thing. You can look and find a place just like this and learn to see what others don't see. Learn to buy what others can't buy. You can learn how to use little of none of your own money. Learn how to have a list of buyers before you ever buy the property. That blew me away. Learn different exit strategies. You have to know more than just, I'm going to flip it. Well, people always ask me about flipping. Hey Matthew, I want to flip. I want to flip a house. I want to flip a house. I would say the overwhelming majority of you should not flip houses because you don't know what you're doing. Most of you are watching too much HGTV and think because you saw a place or because you know how to paint or you do a little bit of contracting that you need to flip a house. You need to learn a lot more. You're looking at the before and afters of these photos, which is just cosmetic. It's the same thing on every house. You clean the house out, you put new carpets, you put new paint, you do a little bit in the bathrooms. That's the easy part. The time where you make your money is when you find and secure the property. What you buy the property for, that is when you make your money. Okay? So you need to know how to even find the place and what your exit strategies are before you ever get into a contract with an owner. You need to learn how to evaluate the areas. And most of all, you need to learn how to run the numbers. Most of you do not know how to run the numbers. Most of you will say, well, I think I can make $5,000 or $10,000. Well, that sounds good to you, but when you flip a house, you're going to pay short-term capital gains because your goal is to flip it in 90 days, right? You're going to try to buy the place, fix it up, and sell it pretty fast. Well, what you just did was put yourself in the highest tax income bracket that there is. The goal is not to pay more taxes. That should be the opposite of what you want to do. Now, there are some that say, well, I can flip 4 to 5 houses a year, and I will make a higher return than if you wait to flip the house doing a 1031 tax exchange, or if you decide to rent the house, I'll make a faster profit than you will. I agree with that if you are able to look in multiple areas. If you can go nationwide and run numbers on any number of cities throughout the country and find that city where places are going fast, where there's a great housing market, and the average days on market is less than 90 days on any given house, where it's a no-brainer, and you have the money and the time and you can do that, that is great. That's what you should do. However, most of you are going to look around your house. You're going to look around where you live, and you're going to call me and you're going to say, hey Matthew, I know of a house with a for sale sign down the street. Well, if there's a for sale sign already in the yard, we don't want that house. That is already on the MLS, and that means that anybody in the entire world that can get on the internet can find that property. That's not the properties we want to find. We want to find properties that no one else knows how to find. Okay? So just because there's a for sale by owner sign or a realtor sign in the front, that property might already be too far gone. Okay? And who's to say that your area, your neighborhood, your city is even the right place to be? Okay? So you need to learn how to run the numbers, because it's not just the financial numbers. Oh, I'm buying this house for $50. I'm going to put 20 in it. That's $70. Now I'm going to sell it for $100 and make $30,000. Well, that's great and easy math, but the reality is that there's properties all over the city that I'm in that people have purchased, and it's been a year and they have still not sold. Now, if you have a year that you can wait, that's great. The majority of the people that I talk to, though, they say, Matthew, I need some money right now. I need an income. I'm trying to replace my income. Well, the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to set up rental properties, to set up multiple streams of income in rental income. So what you would want to do in that situation is, if you could rent a place for $800 and all your expenses were $300, when you include vacancy, when you include repairs, when you include property taxes, insurance, and your payment is around $300, and then you can make $800, well, now you're cash flowing $500 a month or $6,000 a year. That you can do. Okay, so you need to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, and know what the numbers are before you ever get into a property. Another thing that people say to me a lot is, well, Matthew, you're a gambler. You like taking risks. No, I don't. I do not like taking risks. I try my best to limit the risk as much as I can. So I'm not buying $5,000 and $10,000 houses in bad areas. There are people that do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. This house is in a good neighborhood, and I would qualify that as a middle income or better middle income neighborhood, where the houses range from $80,000 to $150,000. Okay, so this is a good middle income neighborhood, and I already had a list of buyers for this place before I ever got into the place. See, most of you are worried about finding the property. That's easy. There's properties all over the place. All you got to do is drive down a street, and there's going to be 10 houses for sale. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in the entire country. Right now, there are plenty of places for sale. So that's not the issue. The issue is, what are you going to do when you get the place? Money is still king. Cash is king. So knowing where you're going to get the money, how much your repairs are going to be, and what your exit strategies are. Are you planning on renting this place? Are you planning on flipping this place? You need to know before you ever get into it, okay? So having a good idea of that before you get into the place, for one, that way you don't have a financial problem and another problem that could affect your family and your livelihood. And many of you are trying to learn how to do this so that you can stop working and get out of the rat race. And that's great, but when you start getting $100,000 houses, it doesn't take many mistakes to really mess yourself up financially. So we don't want to do that, okay? So what we want to do is learn how to have a list of buyers or renters before you ever buy a place. So before I ever look for a property, I have learned to set up lists of people that are constantly asking me, hey Matthew, I've got $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 I can put down on a house, but my credit's bad, but I want to buy a house. Could you finance me a house? Absolutely. So I have a list of over 100 people that are just waiting for me to find my next property. Now that is limiting your risk. Before you ever find a property, you find what they want, and you've already have it sold before you ever buy it. All right. We're going to end this video. Guys, don't forget my business software, my real estate software, the book that you can pick up. All is on the website, MorrowInvest.com, in the toolbox section. And I look forward to our next video. Hope you've learned something. Have a great day.
So frustrated.